So I am Robert Stickney in Rockingham, Vermont, in the southeast portion of the state, along the I-91 corridor, and I'm a sixth-generation farmer on this farm.
And you're primarily, would you consider yourself a custom finisher?
Exactly.
Okay. So how's that work as far as like your relationship with who you're doing contract work for?
So we use their nutritionist,
Okay.
for one, so I work personally with him
Yeah.
and go off of my feed tests and what I have available
Yeah.
and what seems to make the most sense and what costs of everything are
Yeah.
to work the numbers with him.
Yeah.
And then I just tweak it a little as we go based off of data on weights and marbling.
Yeah. So they have a quality that they're looking for. They're entrusting all the feed, daily feeding on your end to work in coordination with the nutritionist.
Exactly.
And you're tweaking it as needed. Okay. And so how many of these yearlings typically do you carry?
So in this group there's usually 40 to 50 up here,
Okay.
depending. And we do 80 to 110 roughly.
We're here on your home farm. How many acres do you use to produce feed here on the home farm?
And total with what I have up in this area is probably about 220 acres of cropland.
Of cropping?
Yeah.
Okay, and what are you raising?
Grass silage, baleage, and then large round, dry round bales, and also large square bales. In the summertime, I will rotate these guys around on the pasture. So there's only 17 acres right here attached to the barn.
Okay.
But I'll rotate them around in an intensive grazing as well as feeding the TMR just to keep the costs down. And they seem to be gaining just as well.
If they needed to increase the number of yearlings they sent you, is your current capacity in this area what it needs to be? Like, do you have more space for more yearlings? Okay.
Make some more improvements for inside the barn, add on to the feed bunk here. Inside this little narrow fence, and behind the feed bunk over there is actually all concrete. And then in this barnyard area where I have straw put out for bedding, that's all concrete there.
So you got room for maybe 20% more?
I could probably do 50% more.
Wow. Okay.
Here we've also commingled F1s with the full blood Wagyus.
So as long as the contemporary group is similar weights, they can be together.
Yeah.
And you can go out to capacity. Okay.
And we've done a lot more recently in the last year with heifers and older cows that wouldn't get bred and putting them into the feeder program.
Okay.
And that seems to be not a problem. Always with the F1s in the program, they're always gaining substantially more.
Right.
On the same feed program.
And these are F1 Wagyu.
So these would be Angus or Hereford Wagyu crosses.
And they're gaining faster.
Yeah. We usually see about a 3-pound gain on the same feed program where we're seeing a 2-pound gain on the Wagyus.
50% more gain.
Yeah.
That's pretty substantial genetic difference.
It's pretty substantial.
Yeah. Feeder group, and so they graduate from this group up here.
Right.
They come down at what weight? You say around 900?
No, normally around 1150 probably is the average.
Okay, so they come down to 1150 live weight, and you're bringing them up to what, 1350? So you're putting a couple hundred pounds on them?
Oh no, they're going. Lately, they've been going a little over 1,500 pounds, which is the goal. I'd prefer longer. As of right now, it's just been 1 year. But we are in the talks of doing a longer term. I like doing contracts for everything, including even hay sales. And I think it benefits both parties, truthfully. But that's usually on larger volume sales too.
So on a custom finish contract relationship, you would want to see 1 year or more.
Correct.
And a commitment of a certain number of head.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you ever look at the situation and say, wait, I'm going to do my own kind of thing?
I actually was on a smaller scale before I was full-time on the farm. I did have a herd of 40 animals, and I ended up getting a disease with them, which set me back on calving, and this opportunity arose to grow what we were already doing here. And in reality, it drives me more having someone else's animals. I feel like I want to perform even better and just look at numbers more, I think. I'm not sure why I am mentally that way, but
Well, it's the benefits of partnership. I
Yeah.
think is what you're saying is strategic partnership stimulates expertise and specialists in their own, so you stay in your own lane.
it also
Yeah.
makes me focus more on one thing and not just so much the herd and where I'm going to source animals from and where I'm going to sell animals from,
Yeah.
and just concentrate more on putting up higher quality forages, keeping our feed costs down, still hitting our target marbling, our target weights,
Yeah. You become the finishing specialist.
and especially as I've expanded, instead of being so scattered out, I can concentrate more on fewer things.
These are Wagyu cattle.
Full-blood Wagyu cattle.
Yep.
Now that we've pinpointed down and started using the TMR mixer, so every bite of every cow is exactly the same, it's made it so we can really notice with our weigh-ins and gains which animals are gaining better or worse based on their genetic background, and same with marbling scores.
So you're dialing it into the sire.
When we
and
were just
dams.
component feeding before,
Yeah.
there'd be some animals that would eat much more grain, some that didn't even want to eat grain, some would eat more hay, some wouldn't, some would just eat corn silage, say.
Yeah.
So it was hard to pinpoint those down with that data from that feed sourcing. Now everyone's got the same exact food all the time.
Yeah. And the advantages and disadvantages of Wagyu cattle when it comes to the finishing program that you have, what are pros and cons?
Well, I'd say the disadvantages of the full bloods is more health issues.
Okay.
And part of that is related to the length of time in order to hit a high quality product is the length of time it takes to finish them, which is a minimum 2 years.
So if you were to source, say, your own feeder stock and diversify your operation, what would you be looking for in the genetic backgrounding of your animals, ideally?
Fast gainers.
Fast gain? Okay.
Fast gainers with high carcass percentages.
Okay, so dressing weights, key, and gain rates.
Yeah.
Those are the two critical.
And on the Wagyu side, I will say on the positives, they're fantastic animals to handle.
Okay.
They're pretty docile animals.
So you don't want aggression in the barn. And,
Right.
Right.
They're great to work with.
Yeah.
We do, and the quality of the meat is, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Never had any beef that tastes anything like it.
So why not the F1s with Wagyu because of the
I
time it takes to...
I prefer the F1s myself personally, because you get the quality of the steak, say, and the hamburger, but it's not as intensely fat.
Yeah.
And then
faster though too, but I mean, so it would work. It seems like it would address one of the issues that you just spoke about with the
Yes.
Wagyu, right?
But who I'm raising animals for, they want the highest quality
I see.
steaks we can
So it's
possibly
market
try to make.
dependent. So the genetics, these full bloods, are largely dependent on the direct sales to
Right.
consumer.
So
Whereas,
it's a very niche business
yeah.
that they're trying to hit.